Almost there, guys. One more thing I have to paste in, and we will be all good. I'm preparing it here. Sorry, guys, to keep you waiting. Oh, yeah, here it is. All right, let me test the sound before I start talking for real. I'm preparing it here. Okay, I hope the location is right. So we can start. My name is Hightech. We'll be talking cryptos here. What is up today? I will explain you what Hightech meme coin is, why you might be interested, and this is skiing. And let's start. I live stream every single day, most of the time, multiple times a day. So I highly encourage you to live stream to subscribe to this channel. Quick look if everything is in order, but seems like it is. Let's go, yeah. So Bitcoin to 20K. Is Bitcoin really falling to 20K? Well, you probably, oh damn, I actually forgot about one thing. Let me just, change the profile because you'll probably hear too much of the fan noise. Fans are spinning really fast. So we are falling. We breached 100K again on the Bitcoin chart, and as you probably remember, especially those that have watched me the recent days, I've got an exit signal from Bitcoin market, and even though shortly after we went above it, now we are going below it. So that's why I always tell you never to underestimate these buy and sell signals, because once they're right, they're very right. They can give a couple of fake outs here and there, but once they're right, they're very, very, very right. And that is literally the part that does the job, that gets the job done. But to be perfectly honest, I was allowing, even though I'm bullish, generally speaking, I'm bullish on the market, I was permitting that kind of scenario to still show up. I said that maybe, just maybe, because Bitcoin market has been doing very similar things so many times already in this uptrend. So I said maybe it will just go slightly lower from here before we get our final bounce. What I treat as a very, very solid confirmation. I mean, solid to extent that makes me almost comfortable that I know where we at, is the sentiment, because the sentiment is really, really low. I mean, here, if we examine it, allow me to zoom in, zoom in. As you see, I don't know why. Okay, right. No, I couldn't slide it. So as you see, every single time we were going more or less to the vicinity of fear we currently at, we saw a bounce, right? So it literally, I mean, since 2000 and the end of 2023, maybe not the end, the September of 2023, we've been going higher and higher each time we were entering orange, and now we are in orange, and the price keeps falling. Here, on last occasion, we actually even entered into red before we bounced. So here we are still. I mean, this is from yesterday. So maybe with the day of today, we will actually enter red. So we are in a downtrend. The sentiment is absolute shit. So it just rides too well into what we've already seen. And then when you learn about market mechanics, you know why sometimes it makes absolutely no sense to sell for the big players, or even dump the price for the big players. You come to realization, when the sentiment is that low, it makes no sense to finish it off, right? To finish this market off. because that's literally leaving money on the table. Nobody really benefits from this, long term. So that's why it's extremely unlikely we will see a greater continuation here, a greater move from here. We'll probably hold this level, I mean, more or less. I'm talking about, I don't know, plus minus 5%, maybe even 10% from here. Maybe we'll revisit 90K, maybe slightly below 90K, but it will not be anything extraordinary, anything in scale of one of those, huge legendary Bitcoin corrections. Like I said, it's extremely unlikely, right? Because of all of those conditions that usually must be met to give us a move that big, right? Those moves, whenever we get them, there is a very, very solid of crypto population that stays positive, that they keep DCAing, that they keep longing, and we are usually, it usually happens at some important levels. Okay, 100K is important level, no doubt about that. But the sentiment is just way too low. It's just way, way too low. By the way, remember that tomorrow I'm going to make a giveaway. I'm going to send to high-tech hodlers. I will, with help of Sal is my assistant, my AI assistant that I'll talk to from every now and then on this show. He will select one address on SourceScan with 0.01 high-tech or above, and an airdrop will go to that address. So that's why make sure before tomorrow you have at least 0.01 high-tech on your Phantom wallet, Trust wallet, or I don't know, MetaMask wallet, whatever that is not an exchange, of course, a centralized exchange wallet, because this way a little bit of USDT will be sent to USDT/USDC will be sent to your address, right? If you win, of course. And I do it every single Friday. I'll be doing it every single Friday with larger and larger amounts. So I think it's worth to keep that one 0.01 high-tech on your wallet, because maybe I mean, if not this Friday, who knows? Maybe the next Friday, or even the next Friday, it will be you. And the chances of winning are actually quite thick, because there's only 76 hodlers so far, so that's really nothing. Even if it doubles, it will still be nothing. Even if it's 1,000, that's still nothing, right? To have a chance of winning 1 in 1,000, to be honest, it's rare to see when it comes to lotteries or that kind of stuff. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, then ask me in the live chat section. Of course, I will give you my take on the topic as soon as I notice that we have sent something. You know what, let me select this one. So for sure, YouTube will not hide any chats from me. So I think right now we are entering maximum panic mode. It's one of those moments when everyone thinks that the Titanic sinks. But it's not going to be. It's just not going to be. Those things, those events, they never happen at sentiment this low. It's just the sentiment is too low. Yesterday it was at 25. Today it will have to be lower, because look at the altcoin market. Actually, this one is hourly. Let me switch to the daily. Yeah, daily, as you see, we have literally handful of green bubbles here and there. Like QNT is doing something, Kava is doing something. I actually have a trade in QNT, but I don't remember how. Let me check it. I don't remember how that one is doing. Is it in profit or is it neutral? QNT. Okay, it's in a small profit, plus 3%. Very, very small profit. Where was the entry? The entry was here. Okay, so after entry, I actually went sideways more than anything else, and now it's trying to move upwards. But it's having problems because overall market is super scared. and everyone and their mother are trying to exit, to get out. So that applies a little bit of selling pressure here and there. But that's a good sign because the more people resign from this game, the clearer the air is, right? And the less dense it is, and the easier it is for the market to move. That is what I call market mechanics, right? The more people is out, the more the thinner the order books are, the thinner order books are, and the easier it is for the price to move upwards, right? Because there is less and less resistance. And yeah, it's been taking a while. It's been taking a while. This transition is taking this cycle, it takes extremely long. I even say that it takes extremely long. So here as well, this is a chart, which is the chart that supposedly should reflect the overall altcoin market. And I was also yesterday I was giving my take that probably we will bounce from here, but I also allow a scenario in which we go down and we retest once again this downtrending line and we bounce from there, and then we get our great rally. So as of now, I mean, we still have to wait for today's daily to complete, because maybe it will. I mean, there is always a chance, right? There is always a chance that it will go back up to where it was, and then even much higher, and at the end of the day it will give us a very nice green close. So that's always the case. You never can fully neglect that possibility. But as of now, as of yet, as you see, it seems like it's going to actually retest that downtrending line. So that's still, I mean, that's not a disaster, if it's necessary to make the air slightly clearer, let it be. We are still in this in the upper section of this wide support band here, in between 195, 150, more or less. So that's actually showing the strength of the market, not the weakness of the market. The weakness would be if we have all of this price action here, right? All of this, if we actually hear it here, that would scream weakness. But since it's the other way around, we are literally on the other side of the doors of the gate, that favorizes the bulls, right? So it's a very important distinction to make, to realize, and let the weak hands get off the train, because they are the only ones that are stopping us here. Let everyone get finally liquidated on derivatives markets, because they are the only ones that create incentive for the price to remain choppy, stay in one place, and market makers just go for that liquidity left and right. If there is nobody left in derivatives market, the only way to benefit from any market is to pump the price, right? Only derivatives market can keep it in place and continue to deliver opportunities to make money for market makers, right? But at some point, people will get tired of the derivatives market, and I think myself, I'm probably one of the first voices that is trying to explain you that there is no way you will make money in derivatives market. The math is just against you in such a big way that pretty much no one wins in derivatives market. Long term, that's guaranteed. No one wins. Mid-term, short-term to mid-term, yeah, of course it's possible to have some results, but those results will be eaten up later on anyway. So at the very end of the day, you will end up giving more to this market than this market gave to you. I'm talking about futures market, I'm not talking about spot market. Spot market is the only way to go here, even if for a very long time it looks like it does not deliver any opportunities, because stock market has that habit of saying sorry. When you do the right thing, sooner or later it will tell you sorry. And to do the right thing is not DCA. Let me tell you, DCA will work only on handful of projects. On most of them, it will not work. It will keep dragging you down, lower and lower. On Bitcoin, it has been working quite well. On Ethereum, it actually has been working. Maybe on Chainlink has been working, and the Binance Chain, but pretty much the vast majority, it would keep taking you deeper and deeper into and closer to the ocean floor, right? Which is almost absolute zero. A reduction so hard, so brutal that it just make that money not count anymore. Right? Make that money literally insignificant. So from there, if you allowed your portfolio to get flatlined to a level that you don't even care about anymore, and then it rises 10x from there, it still won't be a life-changing money, right? So that is why just don't do the DCA. I mean, it's actually not a good idea. But there are times to do DCA, right? I mean, to say it a little bit more complete, to give a little bit more complete description of the picture. There are times when you can do DCA. I think right now this is the time to actually do DCA. If you were doing DCA, I don't know, 1 year ago, 1.5 year ago, and throughout that time until here you continue with DCA, then probably you are in such a great loss. You will not be able to recover it. But if you are new to the space, or you were not doing DCA, I think now is the time to do the DCA. Now you should be making use of this opportunity and slowly DCA into the market on the dips, not on the tops, not when market is rallying. When market is rallying, you let it go. When market dips is when you add a little bit of dry powder. You throw a little bit at it and make it always amount of money that in the grand scheme of things is actually insignificant to you. That's the best way of approaching this market. Just with a lot of tranquility, with a lot of calm, and then when things do go your direction, it quickly rewards you. If they don't, then you were risking nearly nothing anyway. But yeah, it seems like we are getting closer and closer. I mean, people are really mad at what the market is doing. There is more and more pessimism. The indicators, the fear indicators, fear and greed, to be more exact, is falling lower and lower. In a setup on Bitcoin, in a formation on Bitcoin, on the weekly, on the daily, that so far every single time was giving us a reversal. So yeah, on the other hand, looking at it from fundamental side of things, we already know in United States they will be issuing stimulus checks. So when we look at the altcoin market, we exclude Bitcoin market. Let's say, for example, I don't know, top 50. If we exclude top 50 from the market, we look only at the remaining altcoin market. It looks more and more like COVID crash. Like all of the things that are happening around the space, it looks more and more like what we could observe during a famous COVID crash. So if you don't know what happened shortly after COVID crash, just turn on, I don't know, weekly or daily or weekly, and just move to that time on the chart and examine it. It's fairly simple to do, and yeah, the time that came shortly after was one of the best to remember. So I don't know exactly for how long we will stay stagnant like this, because it's kind of a stagnation actually, what we can experience now. Not much of a down, not much of an up, not much of a down. More or less sideways, just like it appears here. But it feels painful, right? It feels painful because, if you have taken severe losses already, if you happen to buy, a couple of local tops throughout recent months, it's extremely annoying, right? When you keep waiting and waiting and waiting, and you keep committing, mistake after mistake after mistake, and the market is just refusing to give you any sort of a relief, right? But the longer it stays like this, the closer we are to an end, an absolute explosion, reversal in form of explosion of this market, because that's the way it always works. The longer we stay in a bear market, because altcoins are in a bear market, the closer we are to a bull market. Simple as that. So, and we've been in a bear market for like 4 years already, 4 long years. So once the bull market comes here, it will be something to tell your grandchildren about. So that's why, just stay around, stay calm and collective, and do not overinvest. If you throw something at this market, make sure those amounts, even if it goes to zero, you can just brush it off, like a dust from your shoulder, and that's it. If you approach this place in that manner, then you stay in power, right? It does not have power over you. You control the situation. You stay in power, and the only thing that can happen then is at some point you catch a big win that recovers everything, everything what has been lost in the process, and on top of that, some hands-on tip, if not more. So let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance, because that one is also of my interest. So yeah, I was counting on Thursday to close green. I mean here red. On Bitcoin dominance, I was hoping for it to close red, and on remaining charts to close green. But no, it's another Thursday that we're getting red. And the rule of thumb recently is that if we get a red Thursday, then the rest of the week will not be really, really happy. So we'll see. But on the other hand, statistics works the way that the longer something happens, the closer we are to change of the rule, or the closer we are to something opposite happening. So either the next Thursday will carry then immense probabilities of finally giving us a green day, or just maybe we get this red Thursday and we still see some sort of a beginning of a reversal. One of the two. So actually the odds start to favor us, right? The longer it is bad, remember, the longer it is bad, the odds more favorite a reversal, right? Because markets never stay down, and only down. That just never happened in any kind of market. Throughout 300 years of history of trading, right? So just keep that in mind. So yeah. Okay, guys, allow me to wrap it up for now. I just wanted to make it short. I want to give you my take on what Bitcoin is currently doing. So far it is fulfilling one of the scenarios I was allowing. From here still I do not think we will see a great move down I think this move, this donut move will get stopped out at some point before it grows into something great. It grows into something really, really big, and we will get an aggressive short squeeze here, and then we will start go into a reversal and into a continuation of the overall trend, which is uptrend on Bitcoin, and probably with that event, with that occurring, altcoins highly likely will make use of that opportunity and finally kick off something sizable. So yeah, in a positive sense, of course. So yeah, so that's it for today. I mean, for now, I will live stream sometime later today, guys. So thank you for your time.